We are dedicated to celebrating our oneness. I love our strength in the face of adversity. I am obsessed with our resilience as we individually experience and navigate our journeys with passion and excitement, whilst collectively staying committed to humanizing our system. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Voicing Voices Celebrates One Young World Female Leaders. Thank you for joining us. And we've come together in order to celebrate all the phenomenal talent and women that we have shining through the community. And today we have three amazing women for you, Mpho, Maiya, and Nathalie, each joining us from a different region, sharing what they've experienced, how they've went through their journey as leaders and the different accomplishments that they've had, but also to provide insights and advice to other young leaders who wish to also break back biases and barriers that stand in their way.
Manyisa, I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm the coordinating ambassador for Southern Africa. So I lead the Southern African region for One Young World, which is about 400 ambassadors who are really driven to, change the world, challenge the status quo, and really drive tangible change in their respective fields. I'm passionate about empowering young people, empowering women. My 9 to 5 is a marketing role, but outside of that, I'm really passionate about bringing young leaders together to really drive, what, the world needs in this current state. And I think change is what is quite important. And I think as One Young World ambassadors, we have the tools, the resources, and most importantly, the influence to really drive this tangible change. And yeah, I love people, I love connecting people, and I love, bringing like-minded people to really challenge global issues, global challenges, and really, this drive towards impact. I think impact is very important. These kind of platforms, drive and inspire me to do more and more. And I think as women leaders, we kind of have, a responsibility and an opportunity to inspire and really motivate our women leaders, especially now, with how gender equality and things such as, women empowerment, empowered women really empower other women. And I think there's great opportunity for us to collaborate and inspire other women leaders. And I think what I love most about, what I do that really inspires other people is to bring together young leaders and to really drive the type of passions that they have in their respective fields and really just ensure that they're driving that tangible change, not only in our region, but globally as well. And really, be that force for social good, be that, inspiration to really inspire the next generation of not only women leaders, but leaders in general. And, I think what I do right now is so powerful in terms of leading such, an amazing region in an amazing organization that, as you said, Diane, brings together change makers together and drives that kind of impactful change. And I think that's what inspires me and that's what drives me. And I think platforms like this and like One Young World gives not only us women leaders a voice, but gives the next generation a voice to also, be who they want to be and aspire to be.
Nathalie, I come from Venezuela originally, but right now I'm living in Lanzarote in the Canary Islands. So, well, speaking first a little bit about me, I started diving like 3 years ago, and this completely changed my life. It's seriously before the Nathalie, before the first dive, and the Nathalie after the first dive. And after this, I started a journey, let's call it like this, and a lot of things like of change, of understanding what I wanted, what I didn't want, and of course of becoming more a leader. Before I was working in a company, I was getting a good position, I was scaling really high. It was not a slow movement, but then I realized that I was not doing what I really wanted. And 2 years ago around, I decided to found an organization, an NGO, with one of my best friends, which was also in the same process, who also fall in love with the ocean. And we were just like, okay, we don't have any opportunity to really volunteer or do stuff for the ocean, and because we're not biologists, so let's just do it by ourselves. We can just start posting amazing stuff about the ocean, and then we will see what happened. And of course, this started growing really fast, faster than what we were expecting. And this is more or less what brought me to the stage I am right now here, to decide to do what I wanted and to be what I wanted to be and not be scared about it. So in leadership, I think one of the most important things that are really relevant for me is the point of giving opportunities and the communication, and that it's a way of giving a voice. In my case, I want to give a voice to the ocean because, like in many topics in the world, there are people or environment in this, or places or whatever, which doesn't have a voice. And in this case is the ocean, which is 71% of our world, and we don't care about it, you know. And that was my point. How is it possible that nobody's speaking about the ocean, and it is giving us more than 50% of the oxygen we're breathing, and it's giving so many amazing things. So this is the first thing, giving opportunities and giving a voice. And also with the whole project, and this is a way I like leadership, is to give a way of having a positive impact. So using the communication, how to motivate people, and not saying, hey, this is happening, this is super wrong, but saying, hey, you didn't know that, it's fine. Now, if you can try to change at least something small, that's it. Just try to do something different. And well, this is what we are trying to do. We're building a community. Right now, we have various communities in various parts of the world, here in Spain, in Germany, in Venezuela, Mexico, Chile, Argentina. And we start events, we create events related to education, and we are doing a lot of courses with kids. And this is all giving also people the opportunity to also be related with the ocean, because many people, they also want to do something, they want to be also a voice of the ocean, but they don't have the strengths, let's say, or the this little something to start doing it. So we want to give it so that they start on this and they fall in love, and they make the whole journey with us. So this is more or less.
First of all, I just want to thank all of you who are just sitting here, and thanks a lot for the invitation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Maiya Suyunchaliyeva, and I'm from Kazakhstan. Also, I'm a One Young World ambassador. I just visited this amazing summit in 2019, and it was a real transformation step in my life. I can divide it into two parts, what happened before and after this summit, because I can say that according to my transformation, and as now that you are just inviting me and other members and people who are just inviting and asking how to be a female leader, I can say that it's really great work, and it's really, of course, start from yourself. How you can communicate with people, how you can grow up your community, and of course, it depends on your aims and your mission of life, your dreams, and everything that's what you are doing. You are just making this big contribution in the whole world, in the whole society, in your country, in your region. And I can say that to be a leader in the whole and how to communicate, it's very hard work. And first of all, for example, now I'm just working in several projects and trying to coordinate all of them. One of these, it's like working with girls, and also it's like a girls project. We're just working with making podcasts to children with disabilities who haven't got any access to learn more about any subjects at schools. And also another one project is like a 4 grants program. On this project, we are making trainings and master classes to students, to pupils who just want to study at universities, to find out grants, and also saying about the new professions of the future. And I think after that, the great work, it's the feedback from these people who are just really thankful and who are just full of new knowledge, skills, and emotions. And it's a really great work when you are just help to your community to make it better. And of course, other projects are just now working on it. It's about tourism and smart cities. In the future, in my plans to make these kinds of collaborations, like I know like a travel bloggers and maybe to organize events, because now I'm just on the starting how to do it online and in offline format, how to organize events and to invite experts in different fields. Also, we are just organizing Model United Nations events where a lot of students just taking a part in it and making just taking diplomacy skills. So it's really amazing of this, and I hope to organize these big events and invite all of you there. And it will be, of course, a tourism destination, and you can see a lot of interesting places in Kazakhstan. And also, maybe our people will go to your countries and visit it. I think it will be very great collaboration and to work like intercontinental dialogues, making these kinds of international projects. So it is like a dream, but hopefully it will be realized.
It will. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm really glad you ended on that note as well, because it goes back to our second question. And one thing I love about this panel is you're each coming from a different culture and a different upbringing or a different viewpoints in life that we can share together to see how it actually impacts the common denominator of leadership, right? And how these things have influenced. And just starting off with my own journey and how society and culture has influenced me. For me, it was all, I'm a visual person. So I like to see where I'm going. I like to see that kind of structure. And growing up, I didn't really see as much of representation present in the books that we were reading, what we were watching, what we were seeing. So now that I've grown up and I've traveled and I've really connected, and even Pal, when you invited me to the One Young World event, South Africa event that you were hosting, and to see so many incredible women breaking barriers and really traveling intercontinentally, going to different spaces and owning that space and owning their confidence has been really inspiring. But I've also seen how that coming back and coming into culture and really trying to teach our mothers and our grandparents about the journeys that we're on, and seeing how society's perspective on women has shifted from generation to generation and how society is being shaped. I would really love for you to touch on that as well in your own experiences. And maybe you've had also conversations with your mother and your grandparents who might have also told you those differences. So how has society, so my second question, and we'll start with Maiya this time. How has culture and society influenced your journey to leadership?
About the coaches, I can say that it really influences on the society, because when we talk with experts and how they can influence on the society, it's very important nowadays, because there are, you can see a lot of experts in different fields, coaches of lifestyle, and when you are just working with them, this kind of category of people, of course, they will direct you to the right way. And of course, they help you to realize your potential. And of course, nowadays situation, we see that a lot of people just go into the psychologists and other people who are just helping them to support their mental health. And in this way, I think that it's very important in yourself. But when you just develop your inside world, of course, you can share what you just keeping inside. You can share with other people who are just around you. And also you can motivate them to realize their projects and to make this world better. And of course, everything depends on you, what you are doing, and just keep it in your mind.
I think related with the culture, well, Latin America, I don't know if all of the countries, but Venezuela is very man-driven, let's call it like this. And I think right now I see it. Back in the time I didn't see it that way because I didn't experience something different. And it's also very influenced by politics. Like we have been in a let's say in a government which has been the same for a long time, and it has created a lot of insecurities in the population, and also of, let's call it, hate between the different groups. And well, I think this has influenced a lot the current population because of how they have been growing. They grew under the same person leading the country, and not many liked them, and the other ones, well, liked them, but they were fighting always against each other. And I think this made people that they were not wanting to do a lot of to take a lot of decisions because they were always thinking, okay, for what? The country is not going well, and they were always kind of using the same topic, like, yeah, if I start doing something, if I start leading something, it's not going to work. It's kind of the whole rule of the person who can do it the fastest and in the wrong way. And I think this was something for me that I didn't want to do it. It was like, I don't want to really be part of the fastest way and the easiest way. And I want to do something like right, and I want to understand what I'm doing stuff. And this is also a point that the education was going down a lot in the last years, and it influenced a lot because not everyone had the opportunity to really have education and start doing something and doing something with a background, let's say. And it was really hard for people to get to that point. And many people were leaving the country. They were going to whatever place they could because of the political situation. So I think that was the main challenge in leadership in Venezuela, saying just Venezuela, the political situation, also the men rule topic, because you can still see a kind of a lot of machismo, and everything that came with the fact of the whole economic situation, and the fact that they were not going really outside of their box. And right now it is changing slowly because the country is opening a little bit again, but it's getting into another way of doing stuff, because right now it's more on the other extreme, let's say. Now it's more buying stuff and doing this. And for example, my case, that I care about environment has been taken apart from the whole projects of Venezuelan government. So right now it's more the economy and the society, which is important. But for example, the environment is zero, nothing, or really less investment and leadership is going on in Venezuela in topics like environment.
South African perspective, we faced a lot of inequalities in the past. And I think now more than ever, there's a platform for Black women to kind of come forward. We've become the most targeted consumer in the country. We've disrupted, various industries and various markets. And I think that really inspires me. And I think culture has really shifted me in that way, in terms of now Black women have the voice more than ever. And I think that really drives me and inspires me to, have a voice to, not only speak more, but pave the way for the next generation of women. And I think, if it's something that my mother and her mother did not have in the past, the onus is on me to really push that forward and challenge this status quo more, so that Black women after me, kind of have that platform to really speak their mind, voice their opinions, etc. So I think culture is really shifting in a very rapid pace. And I think, the inequality gap is, being bridged in a sense, not at a rapid rate, but there is possibilities for change. And I think that's what I'm trying to drive as a young woman who, you know, previously didn't have a voice. And now we, you know, have that platform to really share what is important to us, pave the way for the next generation, and really inspire people to do more. So I think that's what really drives me. And I think that's the beauty of how culture has shifted in my region, which I think is phenomenal.
Thank you so much. And given the rich history of South Africa as well in terms of integration and how it's really bringing so much together, I think that's also reflected on what's happening with globalization and how we are really all connecting through our cultures becoming a language in itself, where we share and we communicate, and that connects us in some way or another. And so thank you for sharing that with us and how that's influenced you and the work that you're doing, ever so important work that you're doing now. And then along the way, there must have been some challenges or certain times in your journey where you were like, something was difficult for you. How would you describe that challenge, one challenge that really speaks out to you? And how have you overcome that? Or how would you advise someone else to overcome that if they were to experience the same thing? And Nathalie, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure, of course. Well, challenges. I think in my case, it was the fact of me wanting to change my whole life, to give a twist. And I think everyone was not really believing that I could do something. And I think, like, related to that. And I think in the beginning, that was a big challenge because I was listening to what people was telling. And this stopped me a little bit. And also not what people, but what the society is telling to do, that they expect you, let's call it, several things that you reach until you are a certain age. And I was kind of scared, let's say. So I believe this was my most difficult challenge, to really overcome the scare and start just working on what I wanted. On if I wanted to reach something, just work on it, and not do something because I don't know what could happen. So I think that was for me, so that what made me be here was to overcome my scares and just try to do stuff. Just try and just doing it. Just if I wanted to do something, then start doing it and get good at that thing. And it's a process, and think that it is a process, and it's not going to happen from today until tomorrow. Because, for example, in my case, I'm not a biologist. I am not working on something related with the environment before. I was a marketing manager working in data analysis. And I was fresh new in diving. And look at me, like 3 years after, I'm already working and doing my dive master. I founded a NGO, and I'm working with plenty of organizations as well, and giving lessons about the ocean. And I have done so many things that if you ask me 5 years ago or even 3 years ago that I would be at that stage, I would never believe that this would be me. And it was only because I just try, and I started to let's say, to fight against what society wants from you, and not really caring about it anymore, which sounds really easy, but it's not, because it's a long thing. Because it's like, who am I really? Am I the person who is doing this, or am I the person from 3 years ago who was completely different? And what is right and what is wrong? And then you start understanding yourself better, and then it moves and it starts working somehow.
As I mentioned before about transformation of my life, it's really unbelievable, and you can't believe that it's me. Because 5 years ago, I just, in my opinion, I've just thought that I lost everything. It was really upset, and I'm just down on the bed, and I lost my favorite job. I haven't got any friends. I was just locked in the home and didn't do anything. It was like I know it's like a depression or something happened in my life. But in one case, I just started to do something. I just sit at the Facebook and saw one challenge that was organized by British Council, and they said that if you will send the application form to us, you can win this prize and you can take a part in the competition of IC project. So I thought, I'm a loser. I can't do anything. It's not, it's not me. But I started. Who knows what's happened? And so after 3 months, I got the application form that you are a winner of this, and we chose only 15 people who can take a part in this competition. It was really amazing and unforgettable moments because this this studying program started during 6 months, and after that, of course, I didn't win anything. I didn't win the fees to like a grant to realize my project, but I I never give up and started to continue it without any money. My friends and other people who just were around me just laughed at me and said, "What are you doing?" But I said, I'm just trying to help people to find themselves, because I lost myself before, 6 months before, but now I'm just remind how I've just survived and how to find out the profession in the future, how to study in your direction and find new friends and opportunities. It was without any fees, without any money. I just organized it in cafes, in restaurants, in some places, and some interesting people just noticed this and invited me to the program, which was organized by British Council. And they said, we can pay everything to you. We can pay your accommodation, flights, and you can travel to One Young World. I said, what's this? One Young World? They said it's a big summit in London. It will happen the next year. Well, we see that you are just doing great things, and you are publishing it on Facebook and on Instagram. We saw that it's really amazing work, that's what you are doing. I was really surprised. And after that, when I just got this letter that I'm a winner, so I just visit these summits and saw a lot of amazing people around the world who are just as me, who haven't got any fees, any grants, but they are just realizing this and helping other people to make this world better. And it was really amazing. So after that, it was like this kind of transformation inside me. And I'm doing without any grants, without any money. I'm just helping people when they're just asking me. So it's my way, and I now found myself. It's my mission to help others.
You know, as a South African, we have one of the highest youth unemployment rates, one of the highest unemployment rates, one of the highest, you know, equality wage gap. And I think for me as a young leader, it gives me not only inspiration, but the responsibility to really bring things forward. And, you know, platforms like this really give us an opportunity to discuss, you know, the challenges we have as women. And I think, you know, your poem really touched on, you know, the kind of, you know, power in liberating the best in other women. And I think as influential women in this forum, we have, you know, that kind of platform. We have the power to inspire, the power to influence, the power to really drive women to, you know, speak up about the challenges that they face. And I think that is so powerful.
Thank you so much to all three of you for being here, for joining this space with me. And we'll give you a couple of minutes just to share your reflections.
Invest in this powerful tool that you have, you know, in the platforms that you have, the people you inspire. And I think there's so much power in collaborating as women. You know, we really as women, you know, there's always this thing that we tear each other down, but there's so much power in lifting each other up. There's so much power in empowering the next woman. And I think as women, we need to really, you know, invest in that and making sure that these platforms not only, you know, stay here, but really, you know, we use the channels, the platforms we have to, you know, communicate, collaborate, and most importantly, inspire. And I think, yeah, that's my reflection for today. I think there's so much power in us as young women leaders.
Final remarks, I can say that everything is a miracle. And now when just people saw the results, they're just saying, oh, you are a lucky person. It's really amazing because nobody knows how many power and how many force you just put it in this deal, in this work. But nobody knows that before you didn't believe in yourself and you thought that you can't do anything. But when you believe in yourself, what you are doing, everything will be like a miracle. And a lot of people will say that you are a lucky person who just got this. I want to be as you. It's really amazing that a lot of students, children like on age 18, 16 years old, they're saying, oh, we want to be as you. It's really amazing how you got this. I said, just believe in yourself, work hard, and everything is possible. It will be like a miracle, and a lot of people will help you to achieve your goal. Yes.
Oh, I actually believe that nothing is luck, because like we don't have luck to be where we are. We work for it. So everything what everyone here has done, they have worked really hard to get it. And sometimes even harder than another person would have worked in comparison. But I think this kind of events are really important because they encourage other people to start doing something, and I think in that it's possible, that it's not impossible, and that other people are doing great things somewhere in the world, and that they have reached it, they have done it, as the others were saying, and that everyone, literally everyone, could do it if they really want to do it. And they just have to start making this step forward to start doing something on what they want to reach. And then normally everything happens. I mean, if you really want it and you really do what you love, and this is what I've realized, all the saints and all the gods and everything move into the direction so that you can do it. And if it's for you, it will be. I mean, and in the worst case scenario, if something didn't work, then you can just move forward and try something else, and you already lived experience and you learn a lot. So
thank you so much. And on that note as well, and I know we all also touched on the importance of staying connected, collaborating. So I have a personal question of my own for each one of you, because I think once I get into this energy and this kind of space, I love staying connected. So like a forever friend. So I would love to know in the next, just to take a minute to also think about it, but in the next 5 years, and it could be personal, it could be professional. This is a free space to really share whatever you wish to share. Where are you in 5 years? What's happening? What are we envisioning? We're coming out of the pandemic. We're, excited. Spring is here. The sun is shining. So there must be few ideas just dancing around on where do you see yourself going and what's next for you, and unleash and just share with us what you hope is next, so we can also support you and visualize with you and encourage you towards that path as well.
In 5 years, I see myself having my conservation center with my partner in the project and working already in research and having it already something physical, making it real, So I think for me this year is more a learning process, learning everything what I can use in the future to make Oshamar, my project, something that will work.
I think for me, growing up as an underprivileged, disadvantaged, a lot of inequality, young Black women, I think for me, I really want to provide a platform for young, disadvantaged people, not only in my community, but in my country. I feel that people don't have a sense of, opportunities. They don't have mentors. They don't have, people who can guide them. And I really want to start this forum where, young, not only Black women, because I really think that in South Africa, we're at the bottom of the food chain, but where young people can really come together to have access to resources, opportunities, and most importantly, people who empower them. What's also alarming in South Africa is that we have the highest male suicide rates. And, as the focus is on women empowerment, I think we need a big focus on men empowerment, and just seeing where the opportunity lies to really provide that kind of platform, the kind of resources to help enable, equip, and most importantly, support young men in transitioning in life, transitioning in various changes and aspects in their lives. And, just providing young people with that kind of platform to, you're not alone. You have people who have gone through the same circumstances, same challenges. You have these type of resources, and just, providing a platform for young people to really excel and, not feel like they're alone, to really overcome their challenges with like-minded people and people who have walked the same journey that they have.
And that resonates with me so much, and especially with the mental health aspect element of it. I think when we discuss, especially at Voicing Voices, when we talk about gender equity, I think there are various different barriers that affect both males and females in these spaces. And I think ensuring that we are also advocating for women, but also ensuring that we have allies as well, who we understand their pain and they can understand our pain, so we can coexist and thrive as a unit and build as a unit, building our societies and communities alike. So thank you for sharing that. Maiya?
5 years, I can say that I just see myself like a director of International Research Communication Center, I think, who will work with different international organizations, who can invite this organization, these experts to share the educational skills, some kind of lectures to young people in my country also. And of course, working in UN organizations and helping people who haven't got any opportunities, disadvantages, and in this way to help them to realize themselves and to give these kinds of chances to find themselves, and of course to promote tourism sector in each region, and to see that there are a lot of beautiful places, and you will be not like a traveler, like a blogger. You can be an educator who can see different cultures, mentality, nationalities, and you can share with this. And of course, you can share with your educational skills with each other. Yeah.
I think one word, just to finalize, one word to describe how we feel, I think empowered. Thank you so much for holding that space and empowering us. And then each one of you can say whichever word comes to mind.
I would say proud.
I think my word is powerful. I think there's power in being a woman. There's power in being a woman leader. There's power in inspiring others, influencing others, leading others. And I think, yeah, we have the responsibility as young women leader to really drive that power.
My words is energy. What you are just sharing with other people, it will just describe you, who you are, and how we can influence in your community.
Thank you all for coming, joining us. Thank you, all three of you. You've been amazing, amazing. So have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a great weekend as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Yeah.